Hello and welcome to My Crumby World. I am Shannon Addison and this is my good friend Sky. Say hi, Sky.
Hello.
We are going to make some salt dough for you today because this is one of the recipes featured in My Crumby Guide to Baking and Friendship Making, available online. And we're going to show you just how easy it is and how fun to make some salt dough. Want to make some salt dough?
Yes.
All right, we're going to get started. Things first. With this recipe, you need essentially 2 different cups. Now we are going to have this recipe, not have as in H-A-V-E, half is an H-A-L-F, half, this recipe, because we don't want to make a heaping amount of dough. We're going to make a nice small, we'll say just an easier to work with kind of dough. So typically you'll use just this cup because it calls for a 2-to-1 ratio, 2 cups of flour to 1 cup of salt and 1 cup of water. But for this recipe, we're gonna do 1 cup of flour to a half cup and a half cup. So, to start, Sky, why don't you get me a cupful of flour? And this, of course, is the Penelope measuring cup. So if you look, you'll see Penelope's cute little face. Don't be shy. Don't be shy, Sky! You'll see Penelope's cute little face on there. Now let's see if we, I know we should have a little knife, but we're just gonna do this. There we go. And we put that right on into our bowl. Very good. You've done this before, haven't you? All right, and next we're gonna go to our Rachel Rye measuring cup. She is the half cup, and we're going to fill this full of half cup of salt. Here we go. And we're gonna add the half cup of salt. And to that, we are going to add 1/2 cup of water. All right, Sky, you get to do the honors. I think you can take that without dripping it. There you go. Good job. Put her on in there. So we have our 1 cup to half cup to half cup. This is where the magic happens. And we talk about this. In fact, I have a little poem that talks about the magic mixing bowl, the magic that happens inside. This is where, guess what, Sky? You get to get your hands dirty. Dig right in and get it going. Now, how does it feel when you first start? It's kind of just wet and slimy, isn't it? That's how it usually feels when you start, but you have to stay with it. We're gonna tip the bowl up and kind of show you. See, right now it is. It's a little bit wet and slimy. Okay, let's see you get in there. Work it, Sky, work it. There you go. Now, as it starts to form and it starts to come together, this seems for some reason a little bit to the wet side. So I'm gonna add just a tiny little bit of flour and see if we can get that to dry up just a hair. All right, get back in there. And I promise when you finish, you will not have dough all over your hands. As it's starting to get together, it kind of is. Now this is a really interesting part of the process. This is the part that I call, we start dealing with these, what I call shaggy bits. Do you see all those little shaggy bits in there? Now there is a secret that I'm going to pass along to all of you about how you can actually incorporate all these shaggy bits and get them off your fingers. You know how you do it?
No.
I'm gonna show you. So you take your dough just like this, and you have to go like this. You have to go like that. So, we've talked about these shaggy bits. You want to show them what these shaggy bits look like? They look like this. See, that's a little, those are what we call shaggy bits. Now, by continuing to do the secret mixing process, and you remember how that goes? I think she does. It's where you take some of your dough and you have to go like this. You have to go like that, and it gets all that. Let me see you do it. No, it doesn't work unless you actually say it. You have to go just like that. Let's see. Do you hear that? That's it. That's how it works. And look, it starts coming together. It actually, see, it's starting to form. Your dough is starting to form. You'll get to the point where it actually starts looking like this. That is some dough. Okay, I promise you it's not gonna stick to your fingers. So, we need to work the rest of these shaggy bits down there. See those shaggy bits? Go ahead and get those. And we're back in My Crumby World, and I'm with Sky, and look what we have. We have some Play-Doh, and how does it feel?
It feels
It might be a little bit sticky, and what you can do to keep it so it doesn't dry out is you can take just a little tiny bit of flour, put a little bit of flour on your fingers just to get rid of the stickiness on the outside, but you don't want it too much drier than that. But isn't it soft?
Yeah.
It is the softest, most malleable dough. And that is a great segue to what we're gonna talk about with dough, because the great thing about dough, and this is where, when I talk to parents about change, this is a great way to introduce the concept of change to your kids. Because let's divide this in half. You take half and I take half. And let's say we're gonna make something really great out of this dough. And you start and you're just gonna make something, you're gonna build a little house, but you don't like the way it's turning out. What is great about using dough is that if you don't like something, you know what you can do? You can smash it, roll it, and start over. I mean, isn't that the greatest thing? Is if you don't like your creation, you can start over. That's called changing. Can you imagine if you could change anything in your life just that easily, how nice that would be? I mean, it would be great, wouldn't it?
Yes.
So, if there was something that you could change in your life right now, can you think of something you might change?
To spend more time with my friends.
To spend more time with your friends. That is actually quite common among girls your age. Kids aren't connecting with each other the way they used to because of devices, because of a lot of extracurriculars, because of demands that are placed on them. This is a time when you can have these kinds of conversations with your kids, and this is the perfect place to do it. Because you're in the kitchen, you're working together on something, and you can actually start having conversations that happen organically. Yes, it's a pun, but it works. This is how you build connection with your kids in the kitchen. So, with that, I'm gonna give you your salt dough. We are going to finish today's version of My Crummy Kitchen with Sky and Shannon making salt dough. But join us again because we will make another kind of dough, which is called cloud dough. And this is the kind of thing that you can learn by following us, coming to our classes, and just keeping up with My Crumby World. And you can also catch us on YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel, My Crumby World. Catch us on YouTube. Bye, guys. Do you hear that? That's it.